Majin Bull 17. Boom. You're making Gotham great again. If Bernie had Tulsi's courage, he would be unstoppable candidate and probably even higher in the polls than the perfect candidate. Let's talk about that. So we've talked about before Bernie not coming up swinging enough. I mean, he does at times. You know, he had some moments tonight. You know, I wrote the damn bill, he said in the past debates. Yeah. And he's really seeming like he's really pushing the unify the country angle.
He is.
So he doesn't want to come up swinging too much. A lot of people, and it's a fair question to ask, are like Elizabeth Lee Voss posted this on Twitter. Jimmy's talked about this. Mm-hmm. Is he going to just endorse Warren or Buttigieg or whoever they jam down our throats if he gets cheated again? So it's a fair question. So what do you, I mean, I have some thoughts on it, but what do you think when you see Bernie not play as hardball as like Tulsi? Tulsi landed a couple of solid knockouts in every single one.
She goes harder in debates. And I think it's, I mean, a lot of people say, and I think they're right, that that's not Bernie's style. And okay, I get that to a point, but it's like, dude, it's all of them against you. We live in an outsider time. Only an outsider can beat Trump. You've been an outsider as far as the political realm is concerned for 30 plus years. You gotta be that guy now. You gotta take off your gloves. People get excited when he does it.
I know.
And he did it some tonight. He did. But he's got to do it more, and he's really got to just set himself apart from the rest of the pack. You know, and he's got to speak up when they're giving Liz Warren credit for his policies. He's got to yell about that. And he started to tonight. I mean, there were a couple times where he's like, I want to speak here. I want to speak here. And he kind of like, you know, was persistent, and that was good. And it's got to continue.
Yeah, I wonder, you know, if they... I want to believe he's got some like long-term strategy because he knows they're doing it this well. But I also, you know, like, yeah, part of me feels like, and this is why it was always good to have Tulsi on the stage with him, is he's the nice guy just saying it's a human right. We're going to tax the billionaires. He'll call out some people directly. He'll say, wait a minute, because Biden always goes, it'll cost $30 trillion. And he always goes, no, Joe.
Yeah.
It's currently $50 trillion. You're wrong, Joe. And what I always thought was like, I believe Bernie and Tulsi are working together. I could be wrong. That's like, I've said that. They met.
No, I know it's your theory, man, and I sincerely hope you're right. I mean, I really, really hope you're right.
It is my theory. It is just a theory based on the fact that, you know, I mean, she backed him in 2016 and lost, stepped down and all that stuff. And, you know, they had that meeting in January, and she's the one that says, you know, she's the only one who said, I would pardon Julian Assange. She's the only one who's been pro-Assange, and which has some pro-Assange people, and rightfully so, very critical that Bernie hasn't said anything about this.
He said stuff about whistleblowers, but he hasn't been specific.
Yeah.
So he's done more than most, but not as much as I would like.
And, you know, Tulsi is the one that called Hillary a warmonger. Tulsi's the one that says the DNC's cheating. Tulsi's the one saying the media's smearing her and calling out the media. So Tulsi's the one doing all of that. And my thinking is Bernie, like if they are working together, my theory is that he went, you do that, you go be, because this has happened before where the VP has been the hatchet man, you know. Even Obama did that. He'd be nice, congenial Obama, and then Biden would go out and say crazy stuff, you know, and Obama would act like, whoa, Biden, don't say that. But that was like,
Joe, you're out past curfew again.
Yeah.
We got to calm down, buddy.
Joe, you brought the car back with only a little bit of gas in it. Now, Joe, you got to fill up your old man's Buick.
I think his best moment tonight, Joe Biden's, was when he was like, I give my private phone number to young women and men all around the country.
Young women whose hair smells great.
It's like the audience was like, are we okay? Is he done? What's he doing? I mean, I think at one point it took all of the moderators like self-discipline to not be like, do you know where you are right now? I mean, when they asked him about Afghanistan, and he was just like, they were like, you didn't even come remotely close to answering the question. Do you want to try this again? Do you want to reset? Do you need a glass of water? Do you need to maybe just not do this anymore and go enjoy your golden years with your family? What's wrong with you? And he was like, I'm the guy, period. And it's like, this is, wow, this is something.
Well, this is to the Bernie point. Somebody brings up a great point here. Bernie is sympathetic to some of Tulsi's points, but won't expend any political capital unless he really, really needs to. So, you know, I wonder if they keep... I mean, Bernie's seeing his numbers go up. He knows the media is lying. When is he going to, like, really call that out? Or is he really just saying, look, we're so divided, I'm going to try to transcend that? And if that is what he's doing, do you think that's effective? Or do you think he's being too soft?
I think the big question is, would that be effective enough to get him the nomination? Because, I mean, maybe his strategy is, I'm going to play nice and be a unifier because I think that's what the Democratic base wants. And then if I get the nomination, I'm really going to be gloves off because I hope he realizes this. I'm assuming he does. To beat Trump, you need some of his voters. And I think a lot of Trump voters are willing to take a chance on Bernie. But he needs to be, again, he needs to be the outsider. He needs to say, this is how I'm going to make your life better. This is the snake oil this guy sold you and didn't deliver on, and this is why I'm the real deal. He needs to do that. But will being the unifier be enough to get him the nomination? I don't know if it is, because he's got to set himself apart from the herd, like big time, to just be big enough that enough people get behind him and realize they can't settle for anything less.
Yeah, it's an interesting thing. So I want to see, I mean, look, we're less than 50 days away from the Iowa caucuses. They're in February. So
and there's been barely any events leading up to it. I mean, it's been very, like, not, they haven't had a lot of debates, or, I mean, our election seasons are so short.
I know.
I mean, it's like, it's here and it's over. It's like crazy.
Well, let's talk about this too. Tulsi not being in tonight's debates. Going into this, I thought, well, I think that was a mistake. I think she should have done it. But then watching tonight, it was so boring. Maybe it was, I don't know.
I disagreed with her decision because, I mean, it was like before they even like finished their polling requirements or whatever. She said she wasn't going to do it. And I was like, I think she should be on that stage. You know, I mean, I think it's important that her voice is there. You know, we're still at the moment where it's important. You know, a lot of those perspectives are there. So, yeah, I mean, I don't know why she didn't do it.
I know it would have been important to have her tonight because they were, and PBS was pushing this, they were playing the identity politics thing so hard with the, like, there's only one person of color and there's only two women. And it's like,
Obama said you're old, Bernie, and we don't
Obama
like
said
you.
You're old.
Take it.
So that's the thing that Tulsi negated all of that. It's when she blew up Kamala, it was like Kamala can't play the, hey, stop talking to me that way, white guy. She couldn't play that card with Tulsi. And Tulsi, you know.
Yeah, all she could say is white suit. That's all she could say to Tulsi.
I mean, Pete Buttigieg can't just play the vet card. Mm-hmm. He had one deployment. She's still a major. I mean, literally, she outranks him. You know what I mean? So I don't get why she sat this one out. You know, she said she was going to sit out the last one at the last minute, joined it. So it's sort of this time, it was like, why are you saying that again? You kind of did that tactic. I don't get it. Sometimes I wonder who's advising some of these folks.
Yeah, I don't get it either. I mean, I know some people said like, oh, she's making a statement, but it's like, look, she's done well in Google searches and what have you every time she's been on that stage, which proves people are thirsty for some alternatives and for some actual choices. So, you know, I mean, if they are working together, if she is going to be Bernie's VP pick, which I'm hoping that happens, you know, it's still a valuable thing for more people to know who she is.
Well, that's the thing. Nobody mentioned her name tonight, and that's because she wasn't there.
Right.
You know, they mentioned Corey and Kamala, oh, my sister in arms. They didn't mention Tulsi. And that's a mistake.
Well, it's pretty much only, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but only Yang mentioned anybody.
Yeah.
Like, so, I mean, they're trying to just like move on and kind of have this is it right now.